way that you all rent bees and the way, I didn't know that. That was new to me. So I'm glad you mentioned that. Can you talk through here when you were talking about, so we grow seedless and then we have the male pollinator versus, can you explain that here and how visually you can see that?
Yeah, so the male pollinator is called the piston and then the stern on watermelons. So the bee transports the piston to the stern. So our seedless watermelon is the actual female watermelon. Our seeded watermelon is half and half. So half dummy pollinator, half seeded watermelon. That's the male part. And then the bee is moving the male part to the female part. It's making like a mule. So when you think of a seedless watermelon, think of a mule, a donkey, and a horse.
Okay, I won't forget that now.
That's what a seedless melon is. It's sterile, it can't reproduce.
Okay.
That's what we're growing right here. It's the whole purpose behind of it, is you're trying to create where the bees only go to the watermelons. Because like I was telling him earlier, basically the sweeter the watermelon means the more times it's been pollinated. So to make a seedless watermelon, it has to be pollinated 6 times. The more it gets pollinated, the sweeter
it is.
So 12 times, you're getting a really good watermelon.
And you all talked about earlier, there's some varieties where you can't visually see as well, but then there's others you're like, okay, I can look at that watermelon and tell.
Yeah. So you can grow darker skinned melons. So Cracker Jack's gonna be a darker skinned. So the stripes are just gonna naturally be lighter. So because it's darker skinned melon, but on a lighter skinned melon, you can visibly tell them stripes that go all the way around it. And basically the bigger and brighter the stripes are, the sweeter the melon is.
Okay, so there you go. When you're in the grocery store, you can find the best watermelon. Wyatt's tip of the day. So now visually though, you explained this to me in our first field. Ryan, actually, I'm gonna put you on the spot too. Do you remember how we do you remember the leaf structure of the, do you remember that part?
Yeah.
Can you pick one out of the pollinator? Sorry, I didn't even ask you which one. Do you remember Wyatt taught us this and?
Yeah, there you go.
Is that right? Yeah, because it's more.
Yeah.
So look here.
Crinkled up.
Is a normal melon.
Yep.
And then here's a pollinator.
Yep.
See how she's crinkled up? We'll pull out a big bone.
Crinkled, but also like this is a brighter green.
Color.
Is that normal?
Yeah,
is
it's meant to be a different color.
Yep.
So here is a pollinator. So this is a seeded melon.
Yeah.
Okay. And we
and then here will be a seedless melon. The seeded melons actually pollinate quicker, so that's why all the seeded melons are going to be a little bit bigger right now than the seedless melons.
You anticipate starting harvest here. This one's what, is this the last week of April?
Yes, ma'am. The last week of April, and we anticipate harvesting the first couple weeks of July. So July 10th is basically our
kind of the calendar date that you all.
As a watermelon farmer, we would be just fine with it never raining, because we are putting water on all of them. All of them are under drip tape or some sort of center pivot irrigation. So no matter what, our melons are going to have water. What we worry about with all this rain is fungus is growing. So something like anthracnose. We got a lot of anthracnose last year. With it being wet and damp all the time, anthracnose and funguses really thrive. So that's a big deal. It doesn't mess with the melon, but it puts little spots on them, so you can't wholesale them to grocery store chains. But the actual melon itself is fine. That's why we're worried about the rain with these.
Sure.
But obviously, where we're putting water on them and we're putting all these nutrients on them, the more sunlight, the better, because we can put water on them all day, every day. So we want the sun and photosynthesis really going.
Yeah, I'm looking out here. I mean, you tell me. I mean, we're looking at very healthy plants here.
Oh, these are really good looking plants.
Yeah.
So the biggest thing with us, with the watermelons, is it's actually going for human consumption. So it's really, really new, us dealing with truck drivers and us dealing with brokers and us dealing with actual grocery store chains.
Consumer trends.
We've always been big production people. So whether that's cows, corn, tobacco, we've never really had to deal with actual grocery store chains or truck drivers. We're dealing with a warehouse and more of a factory type of setting. When traditionally we're farmers and all we do is farm, but dealing with more of a factory type setting is completely different.
I was talking with your dad too about even the variety selection is influenced by you all knowing consumer trends and that piece. I mean, how do you do your homework there to know?
Yeah, so obviously it's going to be similar to corn. You're going to have high yielding melons. You're going to have low yielding melons. Your high yield melons is going to be more susceptible to stuff like anthracnose, more susceptible to diseases. Your low yielding melons is going to be less acceptable. It's just like corn. You know, you can get a high yielding variety or a low yielding variety. So pick and choose based on your fields and where you're at. If you've never had watermelons there before, then you're going to choose a more safer or a more high yielding route because it's never been exposed to watermelons. So with your crop rotation, if it's brand new dirt, you're going to choose something that's going to grow lots and lots of melons. If you only are doing every 5 years or so and you put another crop on there, you're going to choose a more safer option because diseases are going to be more susceptible where there's been watermelons before.
Sure.
Similar with tobacco.
Yeah. Man, you know more in your little pinky about watermelon production than I'm impressed, Wyatt.
Yeah,
So where do you? So as you you're young, you're in college, you want to run maybe be a part of the family farm one day. I mean, how do you see things in 10 years?
Yeah, so like I said, I've got 2 younger brothers. One's a junior in high school and one will be a freshman. Hopefully all 3 of us and Mac and Jack will just keep expanding the produce business. We're looking at growing cucumbers and squash.
Okay.
So
you don't currently, but
no,
maybe one day.
We're looking at growing that. Hopefully whenever we start farming, we can continue. You can call.
Yeah.
Come over here.
He's talking about you.
Yeah.
On a camera. You better come defend yourself. Talking about the future. What y'all want to do?
Squash and zucchini, if you want to talk.
Yeah.
So
here, go talk.
In the past couple of years, we've had some new technology. Like in our warehouse, we've added a refrigerator. It's going to open us up to some new options for produce we're wanting to grow. Maybe next year we're looking into growing some cucumbers, and that's just going to open the doorway into growing squash, eggplants, other types of vegetables that earlier we weren't able to grow, but just because of our equipment that we had available to us. So
the big thing with the cooler with us is, this is completely different. We're used to being able to store grain, store tobacco for the highest price. You're at the mercy of the market when you're selling watermelon. So whether it's 40 cents a pound or 20 cents a pound, you are at the mercy. The cooler gives us another 2 weeks of shelf life. So say the market's really, really low, we can stick the melons in the cooler and it'll give us 2 weeks to play with the market. And that's a really big deal. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's huge. You all just did that this year?
Right.
Okay.
So we just put it in this year. And I don't know if he told you or not, but so I've got a brother and then he's got 2 other brothers. So with 5 of us that are looking to come back to the farm, we're going to have to continue to diversify our income streams just so we can support 5 families. That's a lot of families that are going to be running off this one operation. So we have to continue to look to diversify just so we can support our families.
Is that something that your all's dads have been talking to you about for several years?
Well, there's a reason why both of our farms are 8th generation.
That's right.
Farms go out in 2 or 3 generations. Obviously, money's not made in your big combines and your big planters. You can some years, but like this year, for example, everybody's probably going to lose some money.
You're each what generation?
8th.
Both are 8th. Okay.
Yeah, so there's a reason why we've been around for a while. It's diversification. We do obviously tobacco was king with the watermelons and squash and cucumbers. We do cows and hay. They do a lot more row crops than we do.
All right, I got a fun question then. What's he good at on the farm? What's he good at on the farm? What do you all like? You're like, he's the best at this, he's the best at this. I won't ask you what everybody's not good at.
Oh man.
Because when you have that many people come, everybody has their specialty of what they're good at.
Yeah, for sure.
Here's your chance to brag on each other.
Yeah, so 2 years ago, Mac started. I mean, we have one now, but Mac has 2 drones that he sprays a fungicide on corn with. We have a drone too that we spray a fungicide on. We use our drone to spray beans when they hit R3 with fungicide too. And here recently, we've been spraying the melons with it. Mac's really, really good at the drones. He started that a year before we did. And he's got his own little business. He actually owns one of the drones where he's making his own money spraying other people's corns and his own corn too.
Good for you.
Right. So Wyatt, he's the oldest of our 5, so he's really stepped into a leadership role these past couple of years. I'm liking how in the warehouse, he's become more of a managerial role. He's helping take care of the trucks that are coming in and out, telling them what we need to load up, just managing the people we got up at the warehouse. So yeah, his managerial skills have really stepped up these past couple of years.
I love it. The fact
1-on-1 to 11. What's the score?
In basketball? I mean, he might have like the weight size, but I mean.
Yeah, I didn't really play basketball.
Yeah, I kind of got more of the skill side.
Yeah.
Football, he's running me.
Yeah, for sure.
Give me, okay, so Max sounds like you'd be the winner.
Yeah.
What's the score?
In basketball?
2-11.
Is it make it, take it?
Yeah.
Okay. It kind of depends on if I get ball first time. I'm thinking like 11-3.
Yeah, he probably wins. I never really played basketball.
Okay.
I always just played baseball and football.
So what? If you had to line up against Mac, what route would you run?
Oh, I'm probably just catching a flat and running him over.
I should ask the mom question. In a bake-off, who's going to make
Yeah.
the best?
Yeah, there you
I
go.
won't make you all
I
answer
feel like
that.
our most competitive sport would definitely be golf.
Yeah, no,
Ah.
he's a big golfer. He can
Why?
definitely go play college golf.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I stepped into the golf here lately.
Yeah,
He
after
likes
high
to hit
school.
it far.
Yeah.
What do you go shoot?
Oh, I'm getting pretty close to even these days. So.
Yeah.
Hey, if you love golf, that's what we talk about when we're doing our tissue test. We get the score back, so it's like golf.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
lower
the
the
lower
score,
the
the
better,
better.
for
So
sure.
y'all will remember that. Yeah.
Chicks
Yeah.
dig the long ball. I just try to hit it the far way. That's my goal.
Ah, I love it. Y'all are awesome. Hey, I'm impressed. The fact that like y'all see even what each other's good at, and you all recognize that, and then you're like, y'all are getting better at each of those, and y'all are thinking about 5 years and 10 years and different. I mean, I'm so impressed. Like you guys are thinking in all the right ways. So I'm sure that the two gentlemen over there have something to do with that too.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
We
Yeah.
can give it all to them. I mean, just
But it takes
starting-
humility from y'all to
from starting just like riding the tractor with them at
Yeah.
a very young age to just wanting to drive the tractor ourselves. You know, everything that we've done, we've just been following in their footsteps. So they've set a good foundation for future generations and our kids and their kids to continue to come and continue to hopefully make a living off this land.
I love it. I love it. We're rooting for you. We're here outside of even social media. Like this is cool. I've learned a lot about watermelons even from you all today. So we know you're a tobacco guy. If you had to pick one crop, what's your
Yeah,
crop?
I like tobacco.
Oh, that's tough. I mean,
Or critter,
I really-
crop or critter.
even though I don't like to eat the watermelons anymore, I like the
Why, do you burn out on it?
Yeah, I like the personability of
Really?
them. I really enjoy like talking to people about the watermelons, like
Yeah.
being able to give people some watermelons and just being like, they give you feedback on it. They're like, oh, this is a great watermelon. You know, like whenever I go to the store now, their watermelons that we buy at the store, they're just
Sure.
not as good. So I like the personability of the watermelons, just being able to give back to the community. I mean, we
Sure.
donate watermelons every year to the Boys and Girls Club, to
Awesome.
to our local jail, like to the police officers and the firefighters. So I love the personability of the watermelons.
That's cool. That's cool. Are you excited about the, your dad's showed us the yellow meat
Mm-hmm.
watermelons? That's really cool.
Yeah, it's something new.
That's
Be
different.
Interesting to see how that turns out.
This is
year.
the first year.
Yeah, this is
Right.
the first year. So this is the first year. Traditionally, we put all of our melons on plastic and drip tape. 30 acres will be on a center pivot with no plastic, and then 15 acres is in a river bottom with just drip tape and no plastic. So it'll be interesting
Okay.
to watch the difference in the plastic and no plastic too. So
Yeah.
we're trying a couple different things with yellow melons and traditionally, like so I'm the one that's doing all the spoon feeding for everywhere. And
Okay.
kind of reading the charts you send and determining what we put and what we
Okay.
don't put.
Okay, so if I text your dad scores, I need to send them to you too?
Yeah, he's just been forwarding them to me, but it doesn't matter. It's no big deal.
I need to send them to the guy that's, I'll
Hopefully
tell him.
that molly, we can get that molly in here
Yeah,
pretty quick.
yeah. You guys have that in stock though, now,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So
Pass
like
your
I
line.
said, at Snotty's, our first section, I can show you has molly in it.
Oh,
Our next two
here's-
sections do not because it's been raining, and I've actually got it loaded in the trailer. Maybe doing that tomorrow.
Okay,
We can
okay,
get the pump turned on and it doesn't rain at all.
sure. Okay, awesome. Listen,
But we'll be able to drive past the bees. if we
they're
can get
saying
back
nice
there.
things about y'all over here.
Mostly.
We got it on camera.
Yeah.
I'll buy their lunch. I'm a sappy mom. I'm tearing up over here. They're laying it on thick. They have been so respectful to you guys as their parents. You're gonna want this.
Yeah.
Because then when I leave and then they say something like a teenage,
Yeah.
you'll be like,
Once the cameras are cut.
once the camera,
Yeah.
the camera,
Take the mic off.
I'm like 1-on-1 to 11.
yeah, that's what I'm here for. I asked him in a bake,
It works really good if all of us are together.
yeah,
I get mad at that one. He'll say that.
nah,
All right, he'll get mad at that one. I'll say, hey, you gotta learn this to be
Yeah.
all right. So we can take up. We can take
Yep.
up for the other one.
you tag team, 100%, yeah.
Yeah, y'all should have been there that day I was driving. We were doing the no-till setters.
Oh gosh.